Most police officers retire around the age of 55, but there are a few who start their career closer to that age.
Well, in Winston-Salem, a man's become a rookie officer at that age of 48. As Fox 8's Michael Hennessy explains, he's already experienced a lifetime of service.
Officer Daniel Jones knew he wanted to serve before his age reached double digits.
My stepfather was in the service, and just, you know, his example was something that I had always admired.
As a high school junior in 1995, he joined the Army under the Delayed Entry Program.
Basic training was an awakening.
And reported on July 3rd, 1996.
And then when physical training really started, I was like, oh my God. I was not as prepared as I thought I would be.
By 1999, he had already extended to deploy overseas for the first time to Germany.
To be quite honest, I didn't know that I was going to make it a career.
On September 11th, 2001, he was in Italy.
A car pulled beside us. It was another American, and they said, get back to the base, we're under attack. And so that's how I found out. And then the base obviously went into lockdown, and we took precautions from there.
In total, he served in 3 airborne infantry units, including the 82nd Airborne when he went to Iraq in 2003.
The early days of Iraq were very primitive.
He was a young sergeant leading soldiers for the first time.
That deployment was probably when I matured the most, and the gravity of everything up to that point in my life, it kind of sunk in.
And so he elevated himself to Special Forces.
The autonomy and the accountability, the self-accountability really drove me, and it really hooked me.
And the soldier who joined the service as a teen served 18 years in Special Forces.
The people that you serve with in Special Forces they're the best of wherever they come from. And so just to walk among those people and be counted amongst them is an amazing, amazing feeling.
He was never a fan of retirement.
When you know, I just knew one day, like, I'm ready to move on.
But after 28 and a half years in the Army, he walked away as an E9 Sergeant Major.
My last day, I shook everyone's hand, told them thank you for the opportunity, and that was that.
He admits initial post-Army life was a challenge.
I did take a job temporarily with another organization that paid very well, but I quickly realized that I was missing something. And money, it was a feeling that money couldn't supplement.
So at the age of 48, he went to the Winston-Salem Police Department Academy alongside men and women as young as 21.
It drove me to set an example, not just for my peers in the class, but also the cadre, who are also younger than me.
After 8 months in the academy, he's now in field training.
Probably one of the most professional things and experiences that I've ever had. So I was highly impressed.
A sworn officer with a new goal.
I wake up every day and I come to work, and I make a commitment to myself that I'm going to be easy to work with and the most professional that I can be.
With a master's in criminal justice under his belt and the possibility he'll go after his PhD, right now he's simply ready to get down to work.
I look forward to that. I look forward to organizing my own car.
And he's still not big on the idea of retirement.
As long as I'm physically and mentally, capable of doing the job, and I will be here.
In Winston-Salem, Michael Hennessy.
Despite age, I encourage veterans to challenge themselves, take a step, and consider law enforcement.
Fox 8 News.